Hello students, welcome to today's class. Now, in today's class I am going to discuss about soft skills. So what are soft skills? Look at here. Under soft skills, now I am going to discuss about leadership qualities. Leadership skills are the skills required to effectively motivate and lead a group of people or an organization. So to motivate and to lead a group is going to be head of a group or an organization. Employees are constantly on the lookout for those exhibiting such skills. Listed below are of a few key leadership skills you should attempt to hone. Look at here. Communication. Only through open communication can a leader coordinate with his or her co-workers and delegate tasks, monitor progress, addresses issues, help, inspire, and ensure deadlines are met. So what is communication? Only through open communication, so one can just share his ideas or whatever one has to speak to some other else. So communication is it's a vehicle. Yes. Through via communication, everything can be transferred from one person to other person. So through communication. Next, but whatever the communication should be very strong. Whatever it should has strength in that communication. Next, self-confidence. Leaders are often expected to make difficult decisions. In order to do so, they must have faith in their choices and must be confident in their own skills to such an extent that they can motivate those they supervise. So what is self-confidence? So compulsory leaders, whatever they often expected to make difficult decisions. Yes, be confident, be self-confident. Very, very important for a leader. Must be confident in their own skill. So everyone has their own skill. Maybe in cooking or maybe in writing or maybe in reading or in business works, etc., etc. So everyone has their own capacity, own skill, has own capacity. So be confident whatever you know. Look at here. So what are the leadership qualities? First, good communications and should have a positive self-confidence. Whatever the self-confidence, be confident and be positive. Show positive attitude. Yes. Look at it. Honesty. It's very important skill to be a leader. In order to maintain a company's integrity, leader must be honest and ethical, ensuring co-workers never have to do things they might be uncomfortable doing. So honesty is very, very important in an organization or in a group. Next, coming to fairness. A leader will have to assign projects to co-workers. This means that she or he must understand the strengths and weaknesses of her or his co-workers and then delegate tasks fairly in a diplomatic and objective manner. Doing so will help resolve any potential work issues. Should be very fair, should be very honest, be fair towards your co-workers. A leader will have to assign projects to all co-workers, yes. And according to their strength and weakness, he has to assign the projects. So should be very fair because everyone has their own talent, and there is no rule that everyone are going to have same strengths and same weakness. It's not like that. Depends upon person to person. So based on his strength and weakness, just the whatever the leader has to assign projects. Is it clear? Now, positivity. Just now I discussed about positivity. Yes, positive attitude is very, very important, whatever the situation, but be positive. So these are the skills. These are the skills very important to be a leader. Yes, the leader one leader should has all these qualities. He should be good at communication. It should be very impressive. Yes, very important, and be confident while whatever the decision you have taken and whatever the decisions you're going to be delivered. Yes, and everyone has to be accepted whatever the your speech, and take it and be positive whatever the result, but you should be very positive towards whatever the conditions, and should be fair and should be honesty towards other workers, and according to their strengths and weakness, whatever the project should be assigned based on that. Now coming to the next, what is that? Coming to the value orientation, completed the soft skills. Now coming to the pen is mightier than the sword. It's very, very easy. Nothing is there in that. Yes, this is everybody know this. What is a pen is mightier than sword. Here, look in your textbook. They had given an act 2 scene 2 of the play of Richelieu, or the Conspiracy by Edward. A character utters the lines. What are the lines? Beneath the rule of men entirely great, the pen is mightier than the sword. So this is the word. Yes, everybody know that word. The pen is mightier than the sword. The line grew to become a common expression, which meant that the communication is far more effective, influential, and powerful than the weapons or violence. So whatever you utter from your mouth, so be confident, and it should not hurt someone else. Yes, whatever you are delivering from your mouth, don't waste your words. So it should be very useful. You should not hurt others. So be polite. So because the words are not going to be changed forever. Yes, they are very, very powerful, influential and powerful. So even though you give any explanation, even though that word is not, you are not going to take that word back. Yes, it's though you say, just though you convey by saying sorry, etc., etc. But whatever you have delivered from your mouth, yes, whatever you have delivered from your mouth, that is very important. So while whatever you're talking to an elders or anyone in your at your workplace, whatever the situation, so your word, your communication should be more effective. Yes, it should, because everyone are going to be influenced with whatever the words you are going to utter out. The idea is clearly illustrated by the Treaty of Versailles, which was one of the major peace treaties signed at the end of the World War I. The signing of the treaty changed the courses of several countries and ushered in an era of peace. Yes, something weapons and force could not have accomplished. So that sign, whatever the meeting, yes, whatever the signature, so it gave peace. Yes, writing can instill a number of emotions within a reader: joy, grief, love, anger, jealousy, etc. This is a powerful means by which many who have wielded a pen have been able to connect with a large audience and trigger massive changes. So look at here, the poet. Yes, it's a great thing, the art of the poet. That is very, very great thing, because with his pen, just he's changing, he's giving inspiration to us, and he's influencing us a lot. So whatever the poem, and the poet, very, very great. He's very great person, the poet, because with his writings, he's influencing us a lot. So he brings whatever. So the poem is going to bring out some changes in us. So look at here. So whatever the pen is very, very mightier than the sword. The French Revolution is is an example of writers include Rousseau. Tapping into the Rousseau, tapping into the emotions of the people and instilling a fierce desire for change. Unlike the sword, a pen can be wielded by anyone, and the power it wields is far greater than that of any weapon. So pen is very, very important, whatever the pen. So here showing that really poet is very, very great, that because the power of pen is enormous. It's larger than a sword. The minute tip of a pen can achieve that which cannot be achieved by sharp-edged sword. So this is the conclusion of this. The power of a pen is enormously larger than a sword. The minute tip of a pen can achieve that which cannot be achieved by sharp-edged sword. Yes, so we completed the soft skills and whatever the value orientation which they had given in your textbook. So leadership skills, so what are they? Communication, self-confidence, honesty, fairness, and whatever that positivity. Next, coming to value orientation, under value orientation. In your textbook, they had given what is the topic? The pen is mightier than the sword. Okay, guys. Thank you.